Can you believe that it's already July of 2023? Because I cannot. Like, I can't. What's up, ladies? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Whitney, and in today's video we are going to do kind of like a mid-year reset. So I realized that in my 2023 reset video that I didn't set a lot of intentional goals for myself. I just kind of said what I was going to be doing in the beginning of the month. So when I went back to kind of look and make sure I was on track for the things I wanted to accomplish, I really didn't have anything to go off of. I know I've been making some good progress this year. I've done a lot of things or been able to improve on things that I have been intentional about, but it would have been really nice to look back in January and see this list of things that I wanted to get done, so I'd have something to measure my progress by. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the things that I want to accomplish in the second half of the year, and hopefully inspire you to do the same for yourself. Like, it's not too late. You don't have to just go ahead and throw the whole year in the trash and wait till the beginning of next year to start your goals. Girl, you can start today. Let's talk about the past 6 months. I realized that doing these monthly resets have been super beneficial for me, like game changers. Sitting down, taking the time to think about what I want to focus on for the month has really helped me to stay accountable. Just like when I'm not feeling like doing something, it gives me a little bit more fire underneath my butt to get up and get things done. In the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, Whitney, you're gonna have to account for not accomplishing this at the end of the month. So it really makes me think a little bit more intentionally in the midst of the month, what I want to accomplish. Like, if anybody is watching this that is kind of like just kind of lost in life, I really think that sitting down and doing the same strategy for your life, like where you want to be in 10 years, where you want to be in 5 years, sitting down to do that and then figuring out what it's going to take to accomplish that can help you start to figure out what you need to be doing now. If you don't know what you want to do in 5 years, how do you know what you need to be doing right now? So that's how we have to kind of look at things. I know that in 5 years, I'm going to be retiring. I hope to do a video this month of how I'm planning for retirement. For those of you that are in the Army, you know I have 4 years left until I retire. So I have a vision of what I want my life to look like when I get out. And so it's very important that I do some things right now, like going to college, getting my master's degree and all of those things. So I'm ready and prepared to do the things I want to do when the time comes. And I'm not just like, oh, I need a master's degree for that job? I'm gonna be back in like 4 years. No, we're getting ahead of the game and we're doing that stuff now. I can tell that doing these reset videos have really changed my mindset and like helped me stay on track. So you don't have to necessarily do a video, but get you a journal or a book where you can keep track of what's going on and what you're trying to do each month. I really believe that I have been growing spiritually and just kind of maturing spiritually. Some things that God has like shown me over the past 6 months, and me being able to actually hear him and be obedient to him, girl, it's still a whole lot that I need to do, okay? But I will say that I have been really trying to be intentional about hearing from him in this year, and it has truly paid off, like internally and externally. Some major accomplishments this year: I got promoted in March to Master Sergeant, which was a big deal. My family came up and surprised me. I've been doing more brunches this year, hanging out with my friends, just been doing a lot of things that I really enjoy. And I've also just been trying to enjoy like in the moment, because I love recording and taking videos. Like, that's naturally who I am. But I've been trying to kind of really enjoy and like tap into what's going on around me and pay attention to those who are around me, and like, you know, just kind of how are they feeling? How are they experiencing this? How am I experiencing this? And kind of just being attentive to that to kind of figure out where I can maybe be more present or improve as a mom and as a wife and all those things. One of the things I feel like has kind of hindered me these 6 months is like falling off of my routines. Like, setting a routine like works so good. When I have my morning routine and my nighttime routine and I execute those, things just flow, you know? But the old me tries to creep back in and get me to just kind of do things the old way. And that's when stress starts to come and all these other factors start to play in, because I'm not necessarily taking the time to do what I need to do, to follow the routines. falling off and getting back on, and like recognizing that that's a pattern for me. So that's something I really, really want to work on in the upcoming 6 months. If this is you, I need you to comment down below. Sometimes my actions do not reflect my goals, okay? Sometimes I'm doing things that are not going to allow me to reach my goals. And that's in just so many different areas of life. When it comes to my fitness, my health, when it comes to my study time, when it comes to my relationship with my kids and my husband, all of those things. Sometimes my actions, my attitude do not reflect the goals that I have for those areas of my life. And so, you know, being attentive to my goals and knowing what I want to accomplish kind of reels me back in. So that's just one thing I kind of like when I was reflecting, just thinking like, man, Whitney, you say you want this, but sometimes your actions ain't saying that they want it too. So what are we gonna do here, okay? You know how I told you I've been recognizing patterns in myself about like falling off of things or like commitment levels. I talked about that at the beginning of the year. I want to be a more committed person. Like I want to start something and freaking finish it, okay? And sometimes my old habits and stuff kind of get in the way. I realize that when I'm listening to like motivational stuff, or I'm listening to podcasts, or I'm listening to books, it really does help me stay motivated. When I'm serious about like my fitness and stuff like that, listening to podcasts or videos on YouTube about discipline and all those things really help me feel like a more disciplined person. Like it really helps me feel like I am in line or on track to becoming a more healthy, a more fit person. And so I want to encourage you to consider what it is that you're listening to. What are you listening to, and how is it affecting you? Is it just keeping you very in the zone of not doing the things that you need to do, or is it making you think and reflect on whether or not you're in line with what you want to accomplish this year? Like, are they helping you get more closer to your goals, or are they feeding you things that keep you being mediocre? One thing that I want you to recognize, whether you're an adult, whether you're a teen, whether you just came into adulthood, one thing you have to recognize, and we all have to realize, is that we all have so much potential. Now, whether we execute on that potential is up to us or not. This one book I read by Dr. Miles Monroe, he used the analogy of like a seed, right? If you take this little bitty seed, it's a seed. It doesn't do anything if you don't do the right things, put it in the right environment, or, you know, water it and all those things. But if you put that seed in the right environment, you give it what it needs, you provide it with the sunlight and the water and all those things, that seed has the potential to produce a plant that could produce even more plants, and this thing could just keep growing, and it can become an entire forest, right? So we as people have the same potential. If you continue to stay where you are going to get the same results. So I just want to encourage you to reflect on what it is that you are feeding yourself, the environment you're putting yourself in, and figure out if those are helping you become the best version of yourself or making you feel comfortable where you are. Don't get me wrong, I think it's very important to have contentment where we are, right? Of course, I'm not where I want to be right now, and there's a level of contentment that I have, knowing that right now where I am is a season, and seasons will change, and I will eventually get to where I want to be. But I really want you to evaluate whether your environment is helping you become the best version of yourself or hindering you from becoming that person. Because it's comfortable to be where you are right now. You gotta do nothing extra. You can just maintain what you got. But if you're not happy with that, then you got to take action and start trying to take steps to do things differently. So the last thing that I thought about when reflecting was the fact that some of these setbacks I've experienced in these 6 months were unexpected. Had no idea they were coming. They just hit me out of nowhere. But there were some that were self-inflicted. Me not getting my 80% in each event on that ACFT, because I started training for it a little bit too late. That was self-inflicted. Even if I started training a little bit too late, I could have went even harder if we're just being real. And I told you guys that was something that was self-inflicted and prevented me from really, really reaching my goal, right? So you got to think about that. Is my attitude preventing me from getting to where I want to be? Is my attitude or the way I carry myself, or, you know, the things that I'm attached to, are these things preventing me from getting to the life that I want to live? And what is this life that I want to live? Do I even know what the life I want to live looks like? Like, you got to even start there. So, girl, it's a whole lot, but here we are. reflecting, and I want you to reflect too. What's one thing that you've learned over the past 6 months that you can improve on in the next 6 months? Let me know below. So now I want to share with you guys the goals and intentions that I've set for myself for the remaining 6 months of 2023. Right now in my book, I had a goal of completing my book in 6 months. That's something that I really, really want to do, and there's still time. I'm gonna have to put in a little extra work in order to accomplish that. I'm like 200 words from 16,000. So the goal is to get to 50,000 in order to get the book out there, right? To start editing and going through all the next steps of writing a book. So my goal for this portion of the month is to write 5,000 words a month. Okay, that's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks in each month, 4 to 5 weeks in each month. So I'm gonna have to really put in some additional time to get that done. Not only that, I started school this week for my master's, which is why my video is late. I'm trying to find, I don't know if you want to call it balance, girl, but trying to find a comfortable space to be in, doing work, taking care of the house, doing the job, and all of the things, and trying to do a little bit of YouTube. I'm gonna try my best, but it's not looking like I'm going to hit the 6 months that I wanted to hit. But at a minimum, 5,000 words a month is what I have set for myself to continue working on this book, to get as far as I can. If I get more, then okay, but if not, I'm sorry, but it just is what it is, especially having started school, which puts a lot more on my plate. I have to figure out kind of how to balance all of these things at once, because all of them are pretty necessary for me right now. The next thing I'm going to do in this half of the month is relaunch the Woman Intentionally podcast. If you are not subscribed to the podcast on Apple and Spotify, go over and go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. I'm doing new branding, new everything here in the next 6 months. So I'm really excited about that. I'll make sure to vlog that and kind of show you guys how I'm doing that. Branding, marketing, getting sponsors, all of those things, like really trying to take the podcast seriously in season 4. So that's a goal. In the next 6 months, I want to be more intentional about my fitness. I went and met with a nutritionist, which I'm going to share some things with you guys in a later video about developing this healthy relationship with food that she exposed me on. Okay, because what I've been doing right now is not really healthy. Okay, I don't have a healthy relationship with food the way she basically read me my life. Same goals. I want to get to 165 with my weight, and then I want to reach 80% of each event on the next ACFT that I take. So those are my goals, and that's what I'm working with. I have tried it on my own, and it has not worked. That's why I met with a nutritionist last week, and then this week I'm actually going to meet with a physical trainer, with a personal trainer, so that he can give me a plan to kind of get closer to those goals. Because I started school and writing the book, I'm really shooting for 2 videos a month when it comes to YouTube. I kind of have a lot of other stuff going on that I need to get in the groove of, and so I'm just kind of shifting my priorities that I had and just kind of making things work for what's going on in my life right now. We've been doing it the last 2 months, tracking everything that we spend. Okay, getting exposed. All right. Fast food is killing us, all right? So getting exposed on that has really opened our eyes to ways that we need to just do better with our money. So next 6 months, we want to get in the habit of tracking all of our expenses. I'll put you right. This tracker that I found on Etsy, it's a digital tracker, and it's really, really helpful. Like, you can track each individual expense, and so that's one of our goals, right? To start tracking all of the money going out and coming in, so that we can be more mindful of what we have and some of our financial goals that we want to reach here in the near future. Now, I have my last goal that I have on here for the next 6 months, or my last intention, is to complete 3 college courses. I do not know if that's going to happen. I'm just going to be real with you. This is my first class back. I've been free from the college life for a long time, and yeah, it's kicking my butt. Okay, I got my assignments turned in, but my house is a mess. Y'all didn't see no little cute intro video today because it's a mess. I got clothes everywhere. Need to really work on my kitchen. Life is just kind of lifing, all right? But this is going to be a season that I'm going to have to try and do some things differently. And we're going to see how that goes. But I know I'm going to finish this course, and then the goal is to take 2 more this year. Like every 2 months, take a new class. So that's my goal. Take 2 more, take a total of 3 classes this year. And then yeah, that's it. So those are my goals for the next half of the year. I'm so thankful for everything that has happened in the past 6 months, and I hope that this inspires you to kind of reflect and think about what you've accomplished, what you want to accomplish, and then set some goals and intentions for yourself. Share with me down below one of your intentions for the next 6 months. If you've made it this far in the video, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because a lot of y'all ain't, okay? Y'all watching, but you ain't subscribed, okay? I need you to subscribe. Share this with someone that you think needs a little motivation to keep working on becoming the best version of themselves, and then we can all just keep working on that together. I hope you guys have an amazing July. Hopefully I will see you guys a couple more times this month in the upcoming videos. And yeah, we're gonna get to work, okay? 6 months down, 6 months to go. Let's get it. Peace.